Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back for another Legacy video on the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Akratos, I'm playing a deck that is finally unlocked after being in my recording queue for close to a year. This is Chaos Defiler Fable Grixis Control. The flagship here, of course, being Chaos Defiler, newly released on Magic Online. 5/4 trample for 3 black-red. When it enters the battlefield or dies, for each opponent, choose a non-land permanent that player controls and destroy one of them at random. In a 1v1 game, it just destroys the permanent you choose. There's no other opponents to choose from. It's a powerful thing for Grixis to have access to because the Grixis color pie is famously bad at answering enchantments. You also have to play some weird cards sometimes, even to answer stuff like Chalice of the Void. Like, red's good at destroying artifacts, that is in the color pie, but you need to do some specific stuff to get access to that. And Chaos Defiler just, kills whatever. Another traditional weakness of Grixis is that you don't get Swords of Plowshares, Prismatic Ending, Leyline Binding. You have to actually decide what kind of removal spells you want to play and in what numbers, and hope that you've chosen correctly. And the spell, like, you can't Lightning Bolt a Murktide Regent. You can't Fatal Push a Triumph of St. Catherine. Children's Edict isn't that good against a deck like Elves or Delver that might have 3 or 4 creatures in play, and you just get the worst one. Chaos Defiler does a great job. Plug in that hole, just, kill that Murktide, kill that Triumph, kill that Beanstalk, whatever it is, bang, it's gone. And that's at the top end of a pretty cool, mostly tap-out style Grixis control deck. And by tap-out, I mean you're usually going to spend all your mana on a turn. This is not the type of control deck that holds up instants, at least not at first. You have to develop, and then around turn 4 or 5, maybe you start holding up instants, but Force of Will, the only counterspell in the main deck. We got a bunch of removal, and we have a bunch of creatures to go with the bunch of Fable and the Mirror Breaker. Fable's really the core engine here. This card is obviously great. Shows up in every format it's legal except for Vintage, I think, and it's banned in some of those formats. Legacy staple in red decks for sure, and we've got it here. The Reflection of Kiki-Jiki's pretty happy to copy any creature in this deck. Snapcaster's another spell, Fury's another Plague Wind, Orcish Bowmaster's a ping that grows your army, Baleful Strix is a card draw, and of course the nuts, Chaos Defiler. And Reflection of Kiki-Jiki does read Sacrifice the token at the end of the end step and not Exile, so you get an in and an out on the Chaos Defiler tokens if you're ever copying this thing. Pretty crazy, while you're also bashing for an extra 5. I love how Hymn to Tarok forward this deck is too. These slots could be Thoughtseize if we were trying to be surgical about it, but we're just trying to get 2-for-1s, as many as we can until the opponent's out of cards, then we win with whatever's left. I like that style of play. This might even be better as a 1 and 2 split, 1 Thoughtseize, 2 Hymn to Tarok, but I'm going to rock with 3 hymns here. I know Akratos has been working on this for a long time. I made a few minor tweaks. I left the overall plan intact. I added a second basic island because there's Blood Moon in the sideboard, and I want to be able to cast all my spells when I Blood Moon. I know Fable can make treasures, but you can't really rely on that. I just added a second island to the mana base, and I added Damping Sphere to the sideboard. I don't leave home without this one in control decks anymore. There are some decks like Cascade Combo, Mississippi River that you just cannot beat without it exactly Damping Sphere. And it's also good against Cloud Post and Storm and some other difficult matchups, so just shove it right in. It's an artifact. And I'm excited to play with Force of Despair. This is a card I've been talking about as a potential option in the Sultai Bean sideboard for decks like Goblins that just have one big turn, and if you can fend it off, you probably win. I have found that Sultai Beans fends off Goblin just fine without this card, but this deck's a bit slower, a bit clunkier than Sultai Beans is, and I'm excited to get to try this thing. Those are the cards in the deck. Let's do it. This is Akratos' Grixis Fable with Chaos Defiler. Introducing Club GG, the mobile platform that lets you create your own poker clubs and play with your friends anywhere. Creating your own club is easy. Just download the app, set up your club, and invite your friends. But that's not all. With a Club GG membership from just $9.99 per month, you can win prizes weekly, with over $200,000 in prizes being awarded each month. You could win millions just by playing on Club GG, so what are you waiting for? Download Club GG today and start playing with your friends. Subscribe using code BOSH for a free 7-day membership. Visit us at clubgg.net. I'm on the play in round 1. This hand has lands and it can interact with permanents. It doesn't have a blue card for this force. I think it's fine. I'm going to keep it. My opponent is Ho-Oh. So just like just like Ash Ketchum, I'm running into Ho-Oh on my first outing. Arid Mesa. Is this Boros Painter? Arid Mesa's not in a lot of decks these days. There we go. Boros Painter. The information's there if you seek it. I'm not going to bolt this in the end step in case I do something like draw Brainstorm and get to move cards around. Okay, Brainstorm. Chaos Defiler is a later problem. I don't know if I need Childred's Edict. I don't know if I need Force of Will, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to toss this Force of Will. The card I'd want to force out of their deck is Fable the Mirror Breaker. Okay, I am going to put back Force of Will. I'm going to fetch Badlands and bolt this Goblin Welder. Painter is a deck that you can 1-for-1 pretty well for a while until they get an engine going, and then you have to go over the top somehow. Uh-oh. I got the Soul Cauldron. Okay. I think that's okay. Molten Collapse can destroy a non-land, non-creature permanent with mana value 1 or less. Soul Cauldron costs 2. Ponder. I'd really like to find a Hymn to Turok. We play a lot of them, and it's a good time to have one. Fury's good. Force is not that good. I'm going to shuffle this. Shuffled into the Force anyway. Spike the Moto Bug. I'm going to pass the turn with some interaction available to me. Soul Cauldron is eating Brainstorm. It does have that passive unlicensed hearse-like effect on a game, and I am a Snapcaster deck, so it's not irrelevant. Berea's Apprentice. Okay. That resolves. In the end step, I'm going to make a sacrifice a non-token creature. Sacrifice a non-token creature. And then I'm going to Brainstorm and we'll see what happens, but my plan is to fetch and Molten Collapse the Thopter token and the Lotus Petal. Okay, they're just immediately putting a counter on their Thopter. That's going to die anyway, that's fine. Lightning Bolt, okay. Cool. While drawing Lightning Bolt, I guess I have to descend to do everything I want to do here. I could just let them keep Lotus Petal, but 5 mana is pretty scary out of their deck. They start casting Furies and stuff. I'm going to Brainstorm. This Force of Will is not really helpful. Okay. Oh, interesting. I could keep my fetch land, play Undercity Sewers, put Badlands from the top of my deck into the graveyard, which also descends. That sounds really messy for what I'm trying to do, though. I'll just put the 2 lands back and be normal. Fetch, and I could still get Undercity Sewers, but I kind of want to leave up red. I'll get a Volcanic Island. Molten Collapse, destroy 2 things. Red, black. Leave up Lightning Bolt. Force blue card is around. Baleful Strix Gaming starts next turn. Scalding Tarn. This is the second fetch land we've seen. I suspect there is a splash color here, even though we haven't seen it yet. Fable, uh-oh. This is risky because I don't want to play against this card. I would like to force it, but they have 2 cards in their hand that have been sitting there for a while. This would be a horrible time to get blown out by Pyroblast. I guess I'll just let this thing resolve. And then bolt the Goblin. If I draw my own Fable, that would be cool. Snapcaster, awkward with the Soul Cauldron in play. Blue, black, Baleful Strix. Okay, cool. Now if they just target a random card in my graveyard with Soul Cauldron, I can snap it in response. Also, if they ever target one of their own creatures with Soul Cauldron, I can snap Bolt in response. I don't think I'm just going to fire Snapcaster because it's there. They kept all of their cards. Hate that for me. Broadside Bombardiers, suddenly. Here's this guy. Well, that's a haste creature, which they might be excited about activating Agatha's Soul Cauldron on, which makes me excited to snap bolt it. Black mana is revealed. Orcish Bowmaster, okay. Well, that resolves. I'm glad they didn't have it when I cast my Strix, but I'm still not glad to play against it. Okay, I'm going to let this exile resolve, and then they target Bombardiers. And then I snap bolt the Bombardiers. Seems I was fine to just play into Hydroblast last turn, unfortunately. And Orc Army does have all the text of Goblin Welder. It comes with its own +1 counter, so this would be a great time to draw a removal spell. Narset Parter Veils could be a removal spell. Okay, let's dig. Removal, come on, Grixis. All right, oh, hell yeah. Wow, do I want this Golagon's Command, but it might be too late if I let them untap. 1 mana short of that. And what are their artifacts? They have Brea's Apprentice, and they could, yeah, if turning Great Furnace into Brea's Apprentice is a pretty big deal. They're going to start copying Bowmasters next turn. K-Command can destroy Soul Cauldron and Orc Army next turn, but they do get an activation in the interim. All right, I'm going to take the K-Command. I just think it's my best chance to play this game, even though it lets them untap with Soul Cauldron once, with a Soul Cauldron creature. They'd actually get 2 because the Bowmaster they activate onto that, they can weld twice. Well, they're playing from Hellbent, but we'll see how many Brea's Apprentices come into play here. Oh, cool. Boast is an activated ability, isn't it? All right, well, that's neat. I had not considered that. Okay, cool. Now what? Okay, they're welding Brea's Apprentice out of a Great Furnace. I'm playing another Bowmaster brand. Jeez. Okay, they're running hot over there. And my cantrips are a lot worse now. They get to put 1 point on Narset, or 2 points on Narset because they just amassed their Orc Army. Oh, that was an annoying draw. This is going to be really hard to win from here. I need, what, Hidetsugu Consumes All, Chaos Defiler I'd take, Fable the Mirror Breaker, not exciting. I can destroy Soul Cauldron and kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I could destroy Soul Cauldron and get back Snapcaster. I don't think that's enough. Honestly, I don't think any of this is enough, but I gotta do something. I destroy target artifact, deal 2 to any target. Destroy Soul Cauldron and Reflection. They just called my deck Joint Pain Grixis. You're not wrong. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on board. I'm dead in 2 hits here. Yeah, that Soul Cauldron was in play 1 turn too many. 1 more mana, or if they just bricked, if their 1 random draw last turn was an Orcish Bowmaster, turns better. Yeah, whatever. We're gaming. Okay, I like Fatal Push. I don't like shoving Fable into double Orcish Bowmaster, but I do like having a creature on the board. Urza's Saga suddenly appears. Okay, I could go into my turn. If I'm willing to trade off with this Bowmaster and push the other one, I could go into my turn with Fable active. I would go to 3 life, but that sees the most cards. Yeah, I think I just need to see more cards here in a way that doesn't kill me. This Force of Will, as expected, has been a brick. Card's just not good in this matchup. The one time I would have liked to cast it, I basically couldn't because of the possibility of Pyroblast being too great. Fable does not buy me another turn. Fable plus removal spell does. Or I could just take 2 swings here. Hidetsugu Consumes All. Buys me another turn. It kills their 2 tokens. Okay, I'm going full looting. I'd like a Fury. Oh, double Bowmaster. I will not complain about that. Alright, I'll pass the turn. Suddenly I have a lot of creatures, actually. They are doing Saga stuff, though. Okay, the squad's coming in. Orcish Bowmaster, get in there. Cause trouble. Kill the Thopter. 2 blockers. I can just block, and then ping again in the end step. Or I could block, finish off the Brea's Apprentice. I'd rather do that. Okay, second Bowmaster, ping this. That's 3 total damage. Okay. I'm still dead to this Urza Saga. Oh, and they have another one. Lotus Petal. Alright, they're hellbent. Let's go. Big draws. Chaos Defiler. I don't even think that helps. Chaos Defiler. Something. Snapcaster Mage. No, they Hymn to Turok. I wanted that card for most of the game, but not now. Treacherous Hymn to Turok. Okay, so I guess my plan here is chump block the Construct, go to 1, and then try to get something going with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki next turn. And if they have a Pirate Spellbomb or a Shadow Spear, I lose. Here comes the Tutor. Shadow Spear, okay, we're dead. Alright, that was tight. That was like 1 action spell away from winning. I'll take that.
Hydroblasts come in, Meltdown, Brotherhood's End, Hitotsugu Consumes All. I'm into all that. Force of Despair is interesting. I'm basically never going to pitch cast it, but it's a reasonable thing to just spend 3 mana on. I'm cutting all my Force of Wills. The card is not good in the matchup, as we saw. You rarely want to cast it, and even if you do, the Pyroblast is just going to kill you. Hymn to Turok. If we grind ourselves down to Hellbent, Hymn to Turok's a terrible top deck, as we saw, but it would have been good at any point in the first 5 or 6 turns that game, as we also saw. Plague Engineer on Orcs, Baleful Mastery, generically killing creatures. Death to the Kami can kill a creature or a Fable. I'm probably not bringing all this in. I'm just looking at things that might have text, defensible lines of text on them. I like all my spot removal. Strix is a little risky, I think, because they're a Bowmaster deck, but also my deck is built pretty heavily to want Baleful Strix. I think I could go a little lighter. I'm not bringing in Death to the Kami or Baleful Mastery. I'm going to stop. Any more would be overboarding. They might try to Blood Moon me this game. Just going to go for my basics. They didn't see any of my basics in game 1. I'd rather not play a game with Blood Moon involved against Painter, but I can function with it around if I fetch carefully. Island Ponder. I'm in. And I can't fetch Basic Swamp with this land and expect to win the game. So I'm going to get Underground Sea and cast Ponder. Nice. Okay. I will take both of these lands. Happy to see them. That is Basic Swamp and Basic Island off the 2. Unless I get turn 1 mooned. Alright, well, if they're leaning on Urza Saga, it's unlikely they're trying to moon me this game. And if they're Saga gaming, unlikely that Bowmaster is going to line up well. Hitotsugu Consumes All, exactly what I'm looking for in this sort of situation, though. Okay, I'm going to put Lightning Bolt in my hand, leave Consume on top of my deck, and pass the turn without intention of casting any spells here. Or fetching. Ancient Tomb, yep. An unsurprising follow-up to a turn 1 Urza Saga. And I could shove Fable right now. Does that actually help or do anything? I could snap Ponder right now. Fetch Basic Island, snap Ponder. I think that's actually what I want to do. No, if they tutor Grindstone and Painter me while I have a removal spell in my hand, I'll just not want to play Magic anymore. They do have me in a squeeze here, though, where I have to fetch because Pithing Needle knocking out 2 lands is unacceptable. But I can't fetch my Basic Swamp if I want to cast Consume next turn, which I do. Mox Opal, okay. Cast another 1-drop. That's not a 1-drop. We had a deal. Okay, that resolves. Okay, my plan is Bolt the Engineer, play Orcish Bowmaster, chump block this 4 damage with the Orc army, and then sweep up their whole business. I don't need to play Bowmaster here, but being able to apply pressure into their Ancient Tomb when their only permanent is Mountain seems like a nice way to move forward in this game. HCA. He's a hungry boy. Bonus of 14. Graveyards are going to disappear next turn. What do we got here? Walking Ballista X equals 2. Okay. Killing my Bowmaster. Okay, so I could snap here. I could just snap bolt their face. I actually like doing this. Going after Ballista I don't think matters because they have to use Ballista to finish off the Snapcaster Mage anyway. And I'm holding this Meltdown. Just playing a little aggro tempo game plan here. They could just pay 4 mana, including 2 life, ratchet up the Ballista, ping Snapcaster for 1, and then attack me for 1. Then they've taken more damage than I have on this turn cycle, and I'm okay with it. 6 mana, they could just Painter Grindstone me right now, and I would die. Engineer, dumping a Soul Cauldron, and ratcheting a Ballista, paying the max. Wow, okay. They said, here I come. I think I'm just going to Meltdown for 0 this turn. I'd love to draw a land, so I could also Fable or Narset. Nice. Ask and you shall receive. Would I rather Fable or Narset, I guess is the question. I'm definitely melting down. This kills the Great Furnace and the Ballista, and removes their ability to flip Soul Cauldron into play. Yeah, they ping me for 1 on the way through. And I think it's Fable. It just does more. I don't think they're going to be drawing a bunch of cards this turn. Okay, they're at 5. If they have like a Mox Opal, flip it into a Soul Cauldron. I'm trying to figure out how I actually lose here. All right, they're at 3 life with Broadside Bombardiers. Do they want to throw their Engineer or just let me double block? Okay, I'll double block. They could clear my board here if they want to throw Engineer at Vessel, but their board is also empty. Okay, cool. They're taking the full tradesies when I have Fable and Mirror Breaker. Children's Edict. I'm just going to keep these cards. Refable. They can tap Ancient Tomb one more time this game. Ooh, Fable. All right. Fable Gaming. They're dead, though. And I am not going to discard any cards because my hand's already the nuts. Edict, sacrifice a creature token. Attack you for 2. I guess I could have hid my basic swamp by just casting the Selva Treasure, in case that mattered for the next game. Okay, Broadside Bombardiers is a thing that they do. Yeah, that felt good, though. I had a lot of X for 1s. Yeah, I think this is still my plan. I'm in. Going right back in. I haven't even seen a Painter yet. This might just be Agatha's Soul Cauldron combo without actual Painter Servant in it. I'm going to keep. I can interact with a creature and find more cards. Battle Tarn. This looks like a Bowmaster, or at least a threat of a Bowmaster. I'm just going to pass here. They got me on the turn 1 Ponder. Badlands, Ancient Tomb, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I can't brainstorm into Hydroblast here, so I won't. What I will do is fetch Volcanic Island and bolt the Goblin Shaman, which also sets up Ponder and Brainstorm for my turn, which I need because my hand is all Landos. 3 spells. Let's go. Okay. I'll take those spells. Put back Volk and Badlands. And I'm going to fetch for Underground Sea and cast Ponder. I am working my way towards a Hymn to Turok next turn. K command Badlands, Children's Edict. Okay, all these cards are good as long as I don't get comboed out in the next turn cycle. They discarded Phyrexian Devourer and Great Furnace. Okay, I mean, I could die here. The Phyrexian Devourer is the combo with Soul Cauldron and Walking Ballista. Okay, they're passing, though. Good news. We dodged. Okay, I don't want the land that's under these. I will play Polluted Delta. That can fetch Basic Island. Do I send it on the Hymn to Turok? Probably. They just pass without a play. They have 3 cards in their hand. I think this is about as safe as it gets. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I was supposed to... Well, I guess I'm not fetching a Basic Island. My plan was to play that off Swamp, but it doesn't matter. We'll be fine. I get the shuffle, and I get to blast their hand here. Bowmaster in response, okay. And they are all the way hellbent with no cards. Okay. They discarded 2 lands there. Urza's Saga, that was a good one to show up here. I have the Consume for it eventually. Ponder, okay. I think I have to Kolagon's Command, killing Mox Opal and Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Or I could hit them, no, because if I wait till their draw step, they can copy Orcish Bowmaster and get value out of this. Guess the question is, do I think a temporary copy of Orcish Bowmaster is better or worse for me than them having Mox Opal in play and me taking their next draw step? I think I'm going to take what's in front of me here. Destroy target artifact, 2 to anything. Mox Opal, Reflection. Bowmaster is their only non-token creature, so Children's Edict is live. And they pass without playing a card from their hand. I hope it's not another Bowmaster. Okay, Children's Edict. Sacrifice a non-token creature, please. And then Ponder. Lightning Bolt, Brainstorm. I don't need this land that's in my hand. How much damage am I taking next turn? A bit. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step. Or maybe in their upkeep. When am I supposed to do this? Okay. I'll do it now when they're tapped out of black. Or they're not tapped out of black. They've Lotus Petal, but you know what I mean. Okay, put back these 2 lands, and they get a 2/2. It'll be a 3/3, then it'll be a 4/4. I'll take 5 in combat, and then sweep up everything. And I can finally fetch my basic island I've been talking about this whole game. Or no, I'll take 6. If it's Shadow Spirit, 7. If I fetch, it's 8. All right, that's still not lethal. Yeah, I'm just going to get island here. The Undercity Sewers was available for... Oh, am I dead? No. Or, yes? Yep. Shit. I don't think I could play around this. I just needed them to not have Phyrexian Devourer or not have Agatha's Soul Cauldron right now. Yeah, because the exiled top card is a activated ability, and the sacrifice it if it's too big is a triggered ability. And both of these have the ability to attack for infinite. Yep, one turn too late with the Hidetsugu Consumes All. Yep, Soul Cauldron got me. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play with a 1-land Brainstorm hand in game 2. I'm going to keep opponent mulled to 6, Bloodstained Mire, and go. Misty Rainforest, something's happening. Underground Sea, Bonder. All right. I think I want to send an end-step Brainstorm here, which is not what I normally do, but if I can hold up Bowmaster or cast Strix, it's actually relevant that I have 2 mana on turn 2, even if I am in danger of missing a land drop. Petal, Petal. All right, so we're playing into Doomsday. No other deck would have this sequence. I guess Blue-Black Reanimator could do it. Brainstorm now. We found the land. Fury's a long way off. I'll leave Fable on top because I have to draw one of these. Wish I could cast him to Turok here, but it's not in my hand. Has anyone figured out how to cast cards that aren't in your hand yet? Okay. I'm gonna zap with Bowmaster here. Playing the Bayou means they might have main deck Veil of Summer. That's a thing Doomsday decks do sometimes. Brainstorm over the top of the Ponder now. Look at this sick Warhammer Brainstorm. I have a brew challenge that I've been working on coming up in the queue where I'm not allowed to use any normal Magic cards. They all have to be Universes Beyond. And Warhammer giving us Brainstorm has been a huge boost to that project. It sucks we don't have Doctor Who yet, because Ponder's in that. They did not shuffle. Lion's Eye Diamond, okay. They might just be actual Storm, too. Just ad nauseum tendrils here. That would do it. Now that we see the Bayou, that's a bit more alive than it was a moment ago. Cabal Ritual. Wow, they discarded 2 Echo of Eons into my Orcish Bowmaster here. They are ready to game. And there's no green in the pool, so they can't Veil of Summer these triggers. Spun me into a force, but no blue card. That's disappointing. Okay, well, one of us is dead here. Really glad I brainstormed in that end step to have access to this as a line. Okay, they're brainstorming now. If they find Veil of Summer, they're safe and can do what they want for the rest of the turn. They can cast it off the Lotus Petal. This is a trick that Storm decks could do, because you see these cards before these triggers go on the stack, certainly before they resolve. So if you find Veil, you could cast it in between the Brainstorm and the Bowmaster trigger. Moment of truth. Also, Storm is just 8 if they can beat me without doing any of this. Yep, Veil of Summer. Okay. I'm going to ping my army now because I can't target them. And this Force of Will in my hand looking sag. Chrome Mox. You know it resolves. Lion's Eye Diamond. We going for another spin. Exiled Song of Creation here. Burning Wish. Yep. All right, we're dead. Yeah, this is a thing that I say a lot, is people who call for the banning of Orcish Bowmaster and like it ruined the game and you just can't even play Magic anymore. My opponent just resolved a wheel into my Orcish Bowmaster, then killed me. It's not Narset. It's not Leovold. It's literally not. You could just take some damage and then figure it out later if you need to draw cards. Okay, so we've got some sort of Wheel, Echo, Storm with Song of Creation, which implies Beseech the Mirror. I also saw Burning Wish. Just going to start by bringing in everything that might be remotely useful, and then I'll start cutting stuff. I think that Fury and Chaos Defiler are not for this matchup, it's safe to say. Him to Turok I like, however, I don't like all those Veil of Summers that are definitely in their deck. Probably Lightning Bolt, Fury, Fatal Push, Chaos Defiler. Bowmaster good. Shieldred's Edicts can come out. If I get fully juked here and they just have some creatures, we probably lose. I can live with that. Do I need an additional Hidetsugu Consumes All if I already have one in the main deck and I'm bringing in Meltdown? I'm doing this to mop up random mana rocks they might drop out. This also sweeps up Empty the Warrens if they have like a small start. Try to empty me. Okay. How do I actually win the game if I cut my cast Defilers and Furies? It's Snapcaster, Fable, Bowmaster. Yeah, I think that's enough. Okay. I'm going to play the game like this. Force Brainstorm. Keep. I'm going to play Bloodstained Mire and pass. They mull to 6. Got a Surveil land. Are we dumping Echo Van straight into the graveyard? Beseech the Mirror. I love seeing an Is It dual land and then dumping a triple black sorcery into the graveyard. Hydroblast. Okay. I'm going to play Brainstorm and pass. Or Island and pass with the intention of brainstorming on their turn. I have Force and Hydroblast guaranteed, and then Brainstorm can do other stuff. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm now, and if they juked onto Orcish Bowmasters, I'm going to freak out. Okay, cool. I don't have to freak out. Put the 2 basics back. I'm going to get the Surveil land here. Get a little extra selection. Molten Collapse. I don't think I want that. Him to Turok. Ding, 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 ding. But the bad news is I can't protect that with Force of Negation, and Veil of Summer is a huge beating. Yeah, I'm going to fetch Badlands and play Narset. Remember how I said Bowmaster's not Narset? Well, you know who is Narset? Narset. I'm going to grab a Surgical Extraction. There is no Desperation Echo through a Narset. They will have to get this out of the way if they want to play more Magic. Another Sewer Surveil. But they can't dump any good cards in the graveyard because they just saw me put Surgical in my hand. They did not fetch a green source, though, notably, which means that the Hymn to Turok might be on for next turn. Lotus Petal, or they might just jam and win somehow right now. Petal, Mox, exiling another Beseech. Plenty of green mana now. Dark Ritual, 1 card left in hand. Galvanic Relay, okay. Storing up for the future. Exile 5 cards that can be played next turn. Ponder, Brick. Burning Wish, pretty good, but I have Hydroblast, Ponder's a brick, second Burning Wish, and a Raw Dog Tendrils. Okay. A dog is raw. Draw for turn. Force of Will. I guess I activate Narset. I have room to discard cards here. Okay, Hidetsugu Consumes All kills all of their mana. What can they do next turn? They could cast 1 spell if I do this. Yeah, I'm in. Red, black, blow up all of your Lotus Petals and Chrome Moxes. They have 3 lands to cast 8 mana worth of spells here, plus whatever they wish for. And I have Force Blue card, Force Blue card. I think it's okay to tap out of Hydroblast. Narset is how I lost in top 8 of the Legacy for Original Art event at MagicCon Chicago. By the way, I was against 5 Color Beans with Sultai, and they just stuck on Narset in a spot where I couldn't kill her. And then my whole deck turned off. Might be time to be reconsidering Narset as a card in the format. She's been largely forgotten. Okay, that game went well. I think my plan still holds. Just gonna submit the same 60 cards, go back in. Island Ponder, already in, but then I also have Force Blue card, Hydroblast, and a Consume. Let's go. Let's hope they do a turn 1 send it. Nope, coward. Island Ponder. Baleful Strix, some lands. I don't think I want these, any of them. Though Strix is a blue card, and Volcanic Island. Okay, I will take this. Strix is a blue card I don't mind pitching. I'll draw the Volk, which turns on the Consume or the Fable, and I can fetch away the Undercity Sewers, perhaps even 4 Undercity Sewers. They got their Undercity Sewers, and they kept a card. Terrifying. Taiga. Taiga King. I think I'm just going to play Blue to Delta with the intent to fetch my Surveil land next turn. I feel like I'm going to need Hydroblast up. The only other option is to play the Baleful Strix and draw a random card, but that uses up my most pitchable blue card and taps me out of Hydroblast. Chrome Mox, uh-oh. Is it go time? Cabal Ritual and Exile, okay. They're just putting some stuff over there in the battlefield instead of anywhere else. Another Chrome Mox. I think we're about to see some fireworks. They pitched a Veil, which must mean they have more than 1. Burning Wish. I'm going to try to Hydroblast this, and if their last card is Veil, I could force the Veil, and then they're actually Hellbent, and we're chilling. Cool. That was pretty good. And now I can consume all their mana. Alrighty, kids. The plan is still the plan. Fetch the Surveil land. Undercity Sewers. I'll keep a Force Negation, yes please. And I'll jack up your life. Bang. Alright, Taiga King, it better win you the game. V-Storm, okay. Pretty good card to have. It's a lot worse when you're Hellbent, though. And they're done, we did it! 2 layers of protection, leave up that Hydroblast was the difference. Keep that Baleful Strix was the difference. Good decisions made. On to the next one. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. On the draw for round 3 with Island Bonder. Done. Bonus mull to 6, mull to 5. Uh-oh. This might be one of those hands where I wish I had a Force of Will. It's definitely a game where I wish there were some Thoughtseizes in my deck I could draw. 1 mana interaction is pretty busted compared to 2 mana interaction, even if your 2 mana spell is more powerful. Listen to me describing out loud the Magic the Gathering mana system. Okay, it's some sort of stompy deck. At least we're not getting stormed out, but we might get our minds gobbled right now. Okay, don't roll a 6. 4, okay. Pass, 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 pass. Okay, they actually did have a card. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty good mull to 5. Now I need a Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push to feel any kind of okay here. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to fetch for an Underground Sea and cast this Ponder that I have. Taking a big hit next turn. Oh, baby, never mind. Okay, forgot about that one. I will put Fury in my hand. Do not shuffle my library. Yeah, you play 1 Fury, so you can just Ponder into it when your opponent mulls to 5 and dumps out their whole shit. Bang. Okay. Can't get too excited. They have a lot of good 3-drops in their deck, but I mean, I was just freaking dead there. Okay, here comes 1. New life has been found. Brainstorm. Yeah, pick up that Force of Will. Happy to see that. Bowmaster will stabilize. I could put away all of these non-fetch lands and then fetch them away and start casting spells next turn. Cool. Those spicy 1-ofs in your deck, they're there for a reason. I'm at 16. I'm going to go to 15 and fetch the Surveil thing, Undercity Sewers. Lightning Bolt, yeah, that's a good one for the matchup. Keep it. Okay, unfortunately I did have to pitch my engine, which is Fable the Mirror Breaker, to get that Fury on the stack. I have no regrets about that play, but I am just sort of hanging out here, hoping to get some nice 1-for-1s and turn it around. Chrome Mox. I cannot interact with that right now. Ringleader is actually pretty devastating. Is it though? I don't want them to draw 4 cards, but I also wouldn't mind if they draw like 1 card and I still have Force in my hand. I'm going to force this. Yeah. Because if they Muxus me 2 turns from now, that's going to suck. But also, they're more likely to have Muxus if this Ringleader resolves. Yeah, okay. I'll just use my Force of Will. Hitotsugu consumes all would be insane here to set them back to 1 City of Traders for mana. Polygon's Command sets them back a mana and stuffs their next draw step. Shoot this. Do I know my top card right now? I don't. No, I kept this Lightning Bolt off the Surveil. This is random draw. Consume. K-Command. 3 mana spell. Any 3 mana spell is fine. Narset, I'm happy with. Fable, I'm happy with. Snapcaster, counted as a 3 mana spell. I'd be happy with that. Hey, 3 mana spells. Okay, the worst thing they could do to me next turn is play a Ringleader and refill their hand. From Hellbent, I don't have to worry about that much. Fable, get in there, start moving cards around, and they just pass with no play. It might be a land that they're worried about playing because of City of Traders, or it might be a Muxus that they're saving up for. I leave away my land. I like keeping all of these removal spells in my hand. I don't want to get suddenly clowned by something that could be 1-for-1, like a Rabble Master or a Bombardiers. Even 2 removal spells could help fend off a mediocre Muxus. It's like kill whatever's giving it haste. Interesting. I'm just gonna bolt this. Maybe I'm supposed to Edict that, actually. Edict kills Muxus, though. Yeah, I just didn't want them to spike a 5 off that, and then Muxus me. I'm so far ahead right now, you have to figure out how you can lose, like what high roll, nut draw, perfect sequence you could lose to, and make sure you break it up if it's in front of you. We're not playing to like normalize the aggregate at this point. We are just trying to avoid nut draws. I'm 1 mana short of Snap Forcing from the graveyard. Okay, Bombardiers is fine. Beginning of combat. Can I kill them if I Snap Bolt here? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Copy, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. Snap Bolt does the trick here. I guess I want to Edict the creature, though. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. They're super dead no matter how I sequence this. Okay, cool. Fury, thanks for showing up. Love you. Now we gotta beat some goblins in sideboard games. Force of Despair. The technology is here to try. Hitotsugu Consumes All. Brotherhood's End are all cards that I like. Plague Engineer comes in. I don't think I like Debt to the Commune Baleful Mastery. Just a little too specific here. I like Baleful Mastery versus Thassa's Oracle decks and Merit Lage decks, primarily. And Triumph of St. Catherine decks, because it exiles. I don't think you want it against just anyone with creatures, because we already have a deck full of removal against creatures. I actually think Hymn to Tarak is a liability here on the draw. They're likely to dump out their hand before I can even cast this thing. Although I do think it's really good on the play. Though it might just not clear the bar. In general, it is a black card for Force of Despair, but our cuts have to come from somewhere. I think I'm going to shave 1 Force of Will out of respect for Cavern of Souls that my deck has no way to remove. I could Blood Moon it, but I'm not bringing a Blood Moon against this deck. I'm going to hedge a little bit, cut 1 Force, but Force is still one of my more important cards if they don't have Cavern. Narset is mid because her passive doesn't do anything. She's just kind of a very slow dig through time. It's probably a Chaos Defiler, honestly. That's another black card being cut, but I'm bringing in a bunch of smaller things that also interact with my opponent meaningfully. Yeah, I'll do this. I hope we get to Force of Despair them. Well, I Force of Despair in the opener, and then I hope they turn one of Muxus. They have 1 lander that does not cantrip and does not cast this, or I guess it does cast Hydroblast. Ugh. I'm going to mulligan this. I don't trust it. I like this one a lot better. Keep and K-Command versus Fable is actually really interesting. It's one of those going to the bottom. I need the Strix to go with Force of Will. I need the Lightning Bolt to be alive. K-Command is a removal spell that could also be mana denial. Alright, I'm going to bottom the Fable. Opponent mull to 5. That helps. Cavern of Souls. Nice Force of Will dummy. Should have put that on the bottom. Force of Will is still fine, though, because if they Mind Goblin up into higher mana, I could force what comes out of the top of the mana chain, because that's not through Cavern of Souls anymore. Ancient Tomb. Broadside Bombardiers. I'm going to fetch a Badlands and bolt this. And now that I can't Force of Will anyway, I'm just going to play this Baleful Strix, unless I draw something better to do. Which I did not. Yeah, let's see what the follow-up is. We're not out of the woods yet. It would be hard to Muxus this turn. I guess if they have Mind Goblin into Muxus, but I could force the top end. Okay, here we go. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, we got a 4. I'd probably have to force a Ringleader, though this Brotherhood's End is giving me a lot of potentially misguided bravery. Goblin Matron. Yeah, I guess that resolves. Yeah, just looking at this Brotherhood's End in my hand, even if they do flip off Muxus next turn, I could kill a War Chief that would be giving it haste, survive an attack from whatever else happens, then mop up everything. And that's kind of the high roll I'm looking for here. Alright, I'll just pass with Hydroblast or K-Command available. Baleful Strix can absorb an attacker. It looks like some combat's coming my way, or they're just moving into combat. I'm happy to trade off with a 2-2 with my dope here. Okay, now I can K-Command, kill Matron, get back Strix. Or make them discard Get Back Strix. That's probably better than killing Matron. Do I even care about Matron? I don't think I do. All right, return this. You discard a card. Squeeze those tight little resources over there. Discarded a Chrome Mox. Well, I know they're holding a 6-drop. Okay. I mean, that's the kind of resource denial I want to see occurring. Blue-black, draw another card from Strix. This is the Grixis game. I love playing these Grixis decks. It's 2 for 1, 1 for 1, 2 for 1, 1 for 1. Farting around, hanging out, doing whatever. Hey, if I end up having to shuffle my deck this turn, would I rather have Fable or Snapcaster in my hand? And I would rather have Fable for sure. And I get to play a land, which can still represent the Hydroblast. They found land number 4. Ringleader is the card that I don't want them to see. If they have to work up some weirdo chain to do something big that I can stuff and then sweep, I'm okay with that. Okay, here we go. They hit the 6. Here comes Muxus. I can't counter it. Moment of truth. Did my gamble pay off? Here's the big Mux. And they hit 1 Broadside Bombardiers. I think I did okay. It was a bad Muxus. Okay, begin combat. I'm going to fetch for Volcanic Island and Hydroblast Muxus. That's a 4/4 that survives the sweeper I'm about to cast, and I don't want to get domed for 8. They get a chip shot for 2 if they want it. They could fling Namesticker at Baleful Strix and push an extra 1 damage. All right, yeah. I guess they could fling this for 5 after I block. That works too. Okay, they didn't fling. They took the trade. Nice. This is so funny. I'm just like, I have the sweeper in my hand, and I'm just not even worried about it. Okay, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Sacrifice your Namesticker Goblin. Leaving Broadside in play is a little concerning, but I'm going to resolve this Fable because their Muxus was so bad. I'm going to grab Basic Swamp just in case they get it in their head to draw Magus of the Moon. 1 card left over there. Battlecry Goblin. Okay, that's pretty strong. They'll probably attack and then fling the token before blocks. That's the thing that gets them the guaranteed best exchange here. I'm happy to just block this Battlecry Goblin if they don't take that line. Okay, sure. All right, I go to 8, and then I have a sweeper. I can loot away this Force of Will that's been rotting in my hand the entire game. Could have been on the bottom from my mulligan, but we finally got there. I will hold on to Brainstorm. Dump Force of Will. Brainstorm. Put back Volcanic Island and Polluted Delta. Or maybe it's Molten Collapse. Yeah, that might actually be worse. 3 to each creature and Planeswalker. And I'll play my land, and then I can decide if I want Molten Collapse before I draw next turn. And then I have a Ponder to keep things going. They got 2 cards over there. A Ringleader, a Bombardier. They have plenty of scary stuff they could do. Gemstone Cavern's not one of them. Simian Spirit Guide, also not one of them. Okay, I could draw the Molten Collapse just to keep the board completely clear. I think that's fine. Why take any risks at all here? I don't want to go to 6, where Bombardiers becomes much more likely to kill me. Ponder. Narset Lightning Bolt. Okay. I like these cards. Don't shuffle. Narset. She can at least grab the Lightning Bolt here. Grab exactly the Lightning Bolt here, it turns out. And I will pass into their Ape. And no cards. Muxus is at least 2 draw steps away. They need land number 6 plus the Muxus itself. Okay, Bolt the Ape. And then I'm going to use the Undercity Sewers to get some card selection in the end step. Sewers. Lorien Revealed. I'll put that on top of my library, yes. Activate Narset first. Force of Despair. Okay. We're starting to insulate here. I'm going to leave up blue-black rather than red-black. Now I have red-black up also. And I can Brainstorm. I'm going to Brainstorm. Handful of lands. Okay. Sunken Ruins. Bloodstained Mire go back. I could Force of Despair if I need to, and next turn I can have Plague Engineer, and I can have 2 Plague Engineers for the rest of the game. I could have attacked for 2 there, I just missed damage. Busy going nuts about my sick control game here. I hope they beat me at 2 life. Battlecry Goblin resolves. Yeah, they're activating it. I'm going to Hydroblast this thing. Fetch. I know there's at least an Underground Sea left. Yeah, there's many blue sources left to fetch here. Lots of black. Yeah, this barely matters at this point. Light up the Goblin, and then I'm going to have 2 Plague Engineers in play for the rest of the game. Now I'm just not even worried about Muxus or Ringleader. I'm worried about very little from here. Guess if they have Fury or Pyrotechnics, but I could snap Hydroblast on those. Okay, the Ringleader showed up just in time. I've just stabilized against that. And it hit a Broadside Bombardier and 3 bricks. I'm going to copy Plague Engineer in the end step. Name Goblin. I actually have Lethal here if I Snap Bolt. I'm just going to go for it. I have Lethal here if I don't Snap Bolt also. I just like the game to be over. I'm pretty sure they're not doing anything. Cool. All right, we beat Goblins. On to the next round. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. Second through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bazaar Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the draw in round 4. Force no blue card, Fury no red card. I do have basics and this Bowmaster. Yeah, I'll try this. Obviously, it's not ideal, but when I'm a deck like this, I just like to keep 7-card hands. And until my opponent shows me they're on some busted nonsense I need to mulligan aggressively into, I'm just going to chill with my 7-card hand. Okay. That gives me access to the Surveil land, which is some card selection, but unfortunately it's also my only shot at a red source right now, as my opponent shows off and grabs their own Surveil land. Dumping a Supreme Verdict, okay. Ponder. Teasing me. They know I don't have one of those, because I would have cast it. Snapcaster, cool. Alright, Orcish Bowmaster, you're up, buddy. Now I have a blue card to go with my Force. They have multiple of these, cool. Aggressively dumping Uro into the bin. Is that what's happening? Ooh, they bottomed it, or binned it to Teferi. I wonder if they're just hurting for a land drop there, or did they not think Teferi's good? That was wild. Okay, they just had 2 of them. That makes sense. I'll play this card that's really good against Teferi. Ping you. And this might seem wild, but I'm going to let this resolve. If it turns out they're Omni Show and I lose, okay. But there's not many good things you could do with the Teferi, with the Bowmaster up against you. I also play Molten Collapse and red cards and Lightning Bolt and just all these things that could finish off a Teferi here. There's Lightning Bolt. We did it. Okay. Unlocked the whole squad here. I'm going to put back Sunken Ruins, and I'm actually really close to cast Defiler in a way that I'm pretty excited about. I could put back Snapcaster or Fury. I'm actually going to put back Fury. And I'm going to fetch Badlands. Yeah, I would like to... That could have been Volcanic Island. I was about to say, that could have been the Underground Sea from my hand to cast Hymn to Turok if I draw it. I think it's mostly fine, but I do have a lot of blue cards in my hand. Okay, Teferi's clear. Didn't draw a card. Did get Lightning Bolt out of my hand, though. Prismatic Ending, targeting Bowmaster. Okay. Wander's fine. And I'm not fighting over Bowmaster there because that's 2 cards for 1 card, and my 1 card already drew a card. That's the flip side of Bowmaster is not Narset or Leovold. Like, if me having Bowmaster in play literally blanked all their cantrips, like, I would have forced the Prismatic Ending on Narset there. But we're talking about different things. I could cast this Ponder for some velocity, or I could leave it in my hand as a blue card for Force, because Fable is about to create velocity anyway. I will Ponder. Bowmaster, Volcanic Island. Huh. Yeah, I kind of like having access to another Bowmaster. It's turn 4, so I've made my land drop. Yeah, I'll take that Bowmaster. Brainstorm. This could be a Bant Uro deck. This could be a Beanstalk deck. It could be some sort of Bant Omni Show deck. I don't know. My spidey sense is tingling. Omni Show probably wouldn't play Prismatic Ending in the main. I was just looking at the high number of Teferis they've shown me, and suspicious of that. Ponder did not shuffle. Prismatic Ending, another 2 for 1. A cool thing that hasn't come up yet, but I'm thinking about it because I'm looking at Chaos Defiler versus a bunch of green mana on the opponent's side of the board, is Chaos Defiler doesn't target. you just choose. So you could take out hexproof things. You could take out things under Veil of Summer. There's a lot going on there. I'm not just going to jam a 5-4 with Orcish Bowmaster or Snap Bolt available, Snap Ponder, or not Snap Ponder, but Snap whatever. Okay, Triumph is here. I'm happy to defile the chaos of this thing. Save my Force of Will. A Bowmaster in the end step. Nope, Bowmaster now. Here we go. Get paid. Oh no, Swords to Plowshares. What if I cast a 5-4 next turn? And then copy it every turn after that. I also think Bant is probably the way to build Triumph decks. I like Uro. I like Triumph. I don't like trying to stretch it into 5 colors. You still get Beanstalk if you want that. They did not shuffle. I don't think this deck has days in it, but I'm going to play around it anyway. Chaos D! My second league with the deck. Round 4 of my second league. First time I've had under my control. I'll choose Triumph of St. Catherine. Randomly destroy that one, please. It just goes back into the deck, but I'm going to start copying this thing next turn, and then the show begins. Also, if they tried to hide a card with their Ponder from potential discard spells, I just shuffled it away. That is an interesting thing to consider. Up the Beanstalk resolves. It hopefully won't be in play for very long, because it is a non-land permanent. I'm going to fetch that Surveil land now. I've waited long enough. Give me that free card selection in my mana base. Shieldred's Edict. I don't think I need that card anymore. Oh yeah, they just realized what's happening and they conceded. We did it, Akratos. I only saw 3 colors, but it did look pretty soft to Blood Moon. I like Pyroblast versus Teferi decks. I don't like Consumes All as suspend 1 Tormod's Crypt. Like, that's not good enough. I didn't see anything this actually kills on the chapter 1. I'm going to cut that. The Baleful Mastery and Debt to the Kami. Debt to the Kami hits Beanstalk and exiles Triumph. Both important things. I didn't see anything that gets Fatal Pushed. Shieldred's Edict hits Planeswalkers and big ol' 5/5 lifelinks. I like that. Molten Collapse, same story. Lightning Bolt is good against Teferi and good against Faces. I might not need all of them. Fury hits Planeswalkers and is a great way to finish a game. I think I can shave 1 Bolt safely enough. Probably 1 Force too. I fully expect Uro to be in this deck, unless they're actually just using the Surveil lands as card selection to get closer to Triumph and get through their 7 cards faster. It doesn't sound very good though. I think I actually want 1 Surgical and -1 Force. Then I'll just play Tap Out Control, like Akratos intended. The 1 Surgical just hedges against Uro, and you could even snipe Triumph with its trigger on the stack. Cool, keep it. They've got a Misty Rainforest and a pass. I've got a Ponder, just looking for land number 3, and then I start tapping out every turn. I mean, technically land number 3. I'm going to put Force of Will in my hand just in case, and I could cast Strix next turn. Forget that Lorien Revealed. Between Strix Draw and Brainstorm, I'll trust my deck to find a normal land at some point. I'd love if they milled an Uro here, and then I just get to take them all. Teferi, sure. They didn't Beanstalk me. I appreciate that. I'm going to fetch Badlands and cast Baleful Strix. This gets all my colors. They're fetching in response. Fascinating. Are we going to dress down? No, we're just going to Surveil. Dump to Ponder. Not interested in Ponder. Kind of sicko isn't interested in a Ponder. A Baleful Strix resolves, and I drew land number 3. If they were just setting up a Miracle, Surgical does demiracleize them. I think it's fine. All right, well, I did have the read there. Now we'll see if I can beat this Triumph of St. Catherine. Well, I have a Death Touch creature to play. That's pretty good. And then Surgical gets the rest of them out of the deck. And then we'll see what win cons they have left. Sure, I'll play that game. I'd love to draw a land here. The Lorien Revealed teasing me. All right, fine. I think I'm going to Brainstorm, though. I can still Lorien if the Brainstorm doesn't find what I need, and Lorien's a guaranteed shuffle for the Brainstorm. I don't need Chaos Defiler or Triple Fable at this phase of the game. And I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed for Underground Sea, which casts him to Turok next turn. Or I guess I can get the Sewers here, which is just an underground sea that sees an extra card. Because I'm not playing a spell anyway. Let's go. Him to Turok. I'll bin that. I don't need another one. Still a force blue card available. Oh no, they paused in their draw step? Yikes! I guess they did set up both of these. Yeah, that was not random. Alright, well, my plan to exile all of them from their deck now just got a lot worse. Because there's one in play. There's always going to be one around, even if I get the rest of them. I cannot just start taking damage in 10-point chunks. I'm going to force this, even though I hate it. Okay, block here. And, I mean, that's in the deck. If I draw a removal spell for the other one before they flip this one, I can get them both. Okay, I'm going to let that go back into the deck. And I'd like Sheoldred's Edict. Fable again. Alright, Fable, carry me home. I can take 5 a few times. I can't take 10 that many times. No pause in the draw step. Good. And they don't have a pause set naturally in their draw step. That hurts. They don't have a pause set naturally in their draw step, so I'm going to know every time they draw a miracle. That was a big hit. I get to do some looting here. I'm going to discard the bonus Fable. And I would really like 4 mana this turn. I feel like discarding Swamp, hoping to draw land is the Family Guy could be a boat thing. I'm going to discard a Fable and just draw a card. Okay. Him to Turok, target you. And then I'm going to use Bowmaster to finish off the Teferi. They discarded a Teferi and a Supreme Verdict. They got a lot of Teferis over there. Okay, 1 out of 6 chance that they flip here. Okay, no stopping the draw. Good job. Block with Orc Army. I'd rather my life total not be diminishing that hard. Prismatic Ending, okay. And Brainstorm. They're very likely to set up Triumph now. They've seen 5 of the 7 cards that it could be, and any miracles that were in their hand got set up. This would be a great turn to draw Sheoldred's Edict. Edict, Edict, Edict. Bloodstained Mire. Okay, him to Turok you again. We'll start there. Force pitching Murktide Regent. Okay, there are Murktides in this deck also. Okay, Surgical Extraction. What do I want to target? I think I have to do it because they very likely just set up a miracle. What card am I worried about out of their graveyard? And not out of their graveyard, but what card in their graveyard am I worried about out of their deck? It's probably Swords to Plowshares or Force of Will. I think it's Plow. I'm going to exile your Plows. I'm going to do it now before the draw step. Hydroblast in the hand. There are 3 total Triumphs in this deck, 4 total Murktides. Murktides and Triumphs are the only win conditions, okay. That's good data for a Surgical Extraction gamer like myself. I'll get a Volcanic Island and stick a Fable here before they can Hydroblast it on the stack. Okay, let's go. Engines are turning. Hellbent Gamer. Looking for a Chaos Defiler. I am not going to block here. I'm going to make them make the hardest choice possible with the Hydroblast. Any block makes the choice easier. Because if they go after Fable, I could copy Shaman every turn and chump this for infinity. If they go after Reflection, then I get card selection out of Fable. Was I supposed to Brainstorm in response? I think I was. Whoops. Alright, well, Brainstorm's better than looting. Brainstorm, show me that Chaos Defiler. Sheoldred's Edict, you son of a biscuit. I prayed for you. Okay. Attack. And I'm going to Sheoldred's Edict after they draw, so they don't immediately get a second look back at this Catherine. It makes it more likely they can counter it, but less likely that they flip it immediately. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Alright, I'm going to do this right now. If they flash in a Hull Breacher here, I lose. Okay. Triumph triggers on the stack. Are they going to fetch in response? Because if they don't fetch in response, if they ever need this 4th mana for anything, then the Triumph goes back into the deck. Okay, this fetch land is locked down for now. Drawing a stupid land I don't want, that I have to use to shuffle away the other stupid land I don't want, but we're in full tap out swing for the fences, got to deal 34 somehow mode. And they just fetched away the Triumph immediately. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary, getting Supreme Verdict. That makes perfect sense. Yep. Who needs a Triumph if you're gonna put me to 0 useful cards anyway? Okay, now I'm looking for a Narset, probably, is the card I would like to draw the most. Fetch, get Underground Sea, and At the very least, I'm going to click fast. I am up by a minute and up a game. Sheoldred's Edict answers the next Catherine temporarily. They don't have any Uros. We saw that when we looked at their deck. Up the Beanstalk, tough beats. And they're fetching with Misty right away. At least Edict does clear a Murktide, and they have 3 of those left in the deck. Come on, take it easy on me. I'm going to let Narset happen. Sheoldred's Edict can clear her, but I don't know if I need to clear her yet. And my deck has Lightning Bolts and Snapcaster Mages and stuff in it that I might need this for other activities later. Let's say Meyer hate that. All right, each opponent sacrifices a Planeswalker. Let's get her out before she gets any more card advantage. Okay, I'm falling behind here. Double Beanstalk versus my nothing. And they flipped to Catherine. Yikes. Yeah, that turn where they had the second one before I could extract all of them was really freaking good. This whole game flipped based on them having 2 Triumphs in play when I tried to line up my Surgical, which is also one of the many arguments against boarding in Surgical versus fair decks, because sometimes they just have one in play already. Okay, I'm just going to F6 and make them attack. I'm not too proud to play to the clock in Control Mirrors. Let's eat these 3 seconds up. Okay, sideboard. Beanstalks confirmed. The Surgical is worse if they don't have Uro, which they don't. However, knowing that their deck is Murktides and Triumphs are their win cons, and I have kind of a lot of ways to kill Murktide, if I can delete the Triumphs forever, that's big. I have 2 exile-based removal spells for their 3 Triumphs. I don't think I want Force of Despair against this deck. Fury actually only kills Teferi. Now we've confirmed everything else they play is bigger than Fury. Fury does bash for 6, though, and copying it with Fable starts killing their creatures. I do like the Blood Moon still. Yeah, I think 1 Surgical is still where I want to be. I have Snapcaster Mage if I want to Surgical twice in a game, and I definitely don't want to draw 2 of them at a time where it's not useful, like right now when I'm going to mulligan this hand with a Surgical in it. Okay, I'll keep this. Opponent kept 7. I think I bottom Force of Will, even though I don't want them to resolve a Beanstalk. And I'm actually going to ponder off of Underground Sea to try to curve into Hymn to Turok. It's the first appearance of that card on time, and I'd like to use it. Oh, look at this. Okay. Fetch Basic Swamp Moon You, or that Fetch Basic Swamp Hymn You, next turn Moon You is the game plan here. Edge Maze. Kept the card. And I don't have access to blue yet, which is a little worrisome. Gonna fetch this Basic Swamp and send it, though. They lost 2 Flooded Strands. Hope they needed those. Hitting 2 lands off Hymn to Turok is always like did I just win, or was that the worst hit? It's best or worst. There's no other way to break it. And Beanstalk's down. Yuck. Okay, I guess I'm gonna slam Blood Moon. Oh, no. Okay, I have a chance to fetch Basic Island here. So I'm going to play Orcish Bowmasters, and then I'll Blood Moon next turn, when I can still play the game, and hopefully they can't. Prismatic Ending, you got me. And another non-basic land. Really hope there's not a Force of Will in their hand right now. That's how this goes deeply awry for me. But I actually feel like I'm in a great spot if their hand doesn't have Force. They did not Surveil. Draw for turn. Brainstorm, Volcanic Island, fetch. I could have Brainstormed first, but I like my hand. Basic Island, Blood Moon, question mark. Are we in? Are we in? We're in. All right. Let's see if being a cheeseball is going to get me a game. We know their deck has Hydroblast in it. I didn't look that closely for Lorien Revealeds. Oh no, a Blades. I did all that work, and you just have a Plains? Cut it out. Baleful Strix. Another Hymn to Turok. Never casting that, as long as Blood Moon's in play. Don't have 2 Swamps. And they can flip Triumph with this Plains that they have, but they didn't. Okay, dropping out more mountains. Orcish B! Alright. The Orcus are a Morcus. I'm going to Orc in their upkeep. Alright, I was trying to get in under Force of Will. I guess I could Brainstorm here and maybe hit Pyroblast. No such luck. Lorien Revealed's nutty, though. Okay. I'm happy with that Brainstorm, even though I did not win the exchange. The attack for 2. Casting spells on my own turn is kind of dangerous because if they counter it, miracles could happen. But I'm going to try to draw 3 after they just spent a Force of Will. We did it. Okay, I drew a bunch of cards I can't cast. Or don't do what they're supposed to. But this Blood Moon has held pretty strong for now. Ponder. I like that one. Chaos Defiler. Defiling Chaos. I'm going to fire my Battle Cannon right at that up the beanstalk. Bang! Okay, now I feel much better about this game. Even if they have Swords to Plowshares, their engines collapsed. They're at 9. I have 5 additional power in play. Just damn near quadrupled my clock. Here we go. Moment of truth. Are you just taking 7? Wow, that's good news. All right, sweet. Go. Go, 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 go. Now they have to kill all my creatures this turn. Or Miracle a Cat, which I have many answers to in my hand. Chaos Defiler carries it. Well, Blood Moon carries it, but Chaos Defiler did a lot that match. Finally showing up. Let's go. Final round.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
Playing against Whoop Orc on the draw in the final round. Bread and butter 4-1 on the line. Whoop Orc is a known scam gamer, and this is a one-lander with a non-basic that doesn't even cast my cantrips. I'm going to mulligan this. I like this a lot better. Keep, and I think Snapcaster is the later problem. Or I could bottom a land. Yeah, actually I'm going to bottom a land. Just keep all my spells. Lands are more replaceable than spells are. Underground Sea. What a surprise. I'm going to play Bloodstained Myra with the intent to fetch Basic Swamp and kill something this turn. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. That card is not easy to kill, though. Or block. Baleful Strix is too scared of it. Just steps right over it, even though it has flying. Well, yep, they certainly just sent it. I've got Edicts in my deck, but here we are. The thing I talked about in the deck tech of Grixis decks, you have to decide what you want to be about in your removal suite, and Lightning Bolt does not kill Troll of Khazad-dûm. Sheoldred's Edict does. Yeah, I am actually going to drop my Strix this turn and just try to play around Daze. Get Strix in before Bowmaster can poke it. This does give them an extra turn to find discard spells, which the deck does play. They haven't used them yet, though. I'm going to hope that means they don't have them. Wasteland, well, I didn't play around Daze very well. I could draw Force of Will. I'd be happy to see that card. Youch. My Edict! It's still in my hand. But my land is gone. Oh no. Who's the him to draw gamer now? It's not me anymore. Black land. Black land. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we might be dead. Brainstorm. I did draw a black land. Put back Snapcaster Mage and my own Hymn to Trock. These cards are not helpful. Ponder. I'm looking for another land. I'm going to shuffle these cards that don't help. Ponder anyway. Okay, attacking. Wasteland's real bad. Thoughtseize Grief are real bad. Hymn to Trock's real bad. Force of Will's game. Daze, pretty bad. Unless I draw a land, then it's fine. Or Grixis. Well, this might have come too late, but sacrifice a non-token creature. Oh, wait. They could flash in a non-token creature in response. I guess I do this in the upkeep then. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this showed up. It didn't show up a turn late, but I played scared versus Daze, which they might still have. Attack with Baleful Strix. I'm going to pass, see if they flash in Bowmaster in my end step. They did not. Edict right now. I lose to basically all cards at this point. And there it is. All right, you got me. Yep, got scammed. All good. It happens. Debt to the Kami, Baleful Mastery coming in. I like their ability to just kill stuff without asking any questions about it. I do kind of like Surgical against Scam. Blood Moon's hit or miss. If it resolves, I probably win, but I think they play one of each basic a lot of the time. Hitotsugu Consumes All is not good. It doesn't kill anything on the front, and the exile is too slow on the graveyard side. Hymn to Trock's fine. Strix is mostly fine. Bolt and Push are good against Bowmasters. Defiler and Fury are good against my opponent, but they're also good against me, and they are a discard reanimate deck. I'm going to shave on him to Turok a little bit. If it gets scrappy, it becomes a really bad top deck in the late game. I don't love all these Force of Wills either. Do I want Pyroblast? Yeah, they're a Murktide deck. All right, Force of Wills getting even worse. Do I want Plague Engineer or Force of Despair or Blood Moon over the last Force of Will and just be fully no counters? Cards are cards. Here we go. It might be Plague Engineer. Name Orc. Okay, I will try it like this. On the play, this Sunken Ruins is so dangerous versus a Wasteland deck. I will keep this, but I'm extremely worried about getting Wastelanded. And I'm leading on the Sunken Ruins, because if they waste the sea, then I have no mana. But if they waste this, I still have blue or black mana. Okay, they got an Underground Sea. I have Surgical if they go for the Turbo Reanimate strat again. I think I just want to send a Hymn to Turok at them. This is a card I care least if it gets countered, and it's like pretty good if it resolves. Force of Will, pitching Brazen Borrower. Okay, I like that exchange. Please cycle a troll in the end step, and then try to reanimate it. I'm so ready. Here we go. I still lose to Daze, but I'm doing what I can do here. Grief, stop it. All right, well, I'll Surgical the troll now so I don't just die. Hymn to Turok. Oh my god, my hand is gone. And Wasteland. I have no mana. This is a nightmare. I am getting completely collapsed by this setup here. Okay. You could take something, well, you can't hymn and waste, so you do have to choose, but Wasteland is probably safer because I have no mana. But any land I draw filters through the Sunken Ruins and gets something going. Yeah, this is actually an interesting choice, whether they try to... The high roll is Wasteland. The safe roll is Hymn to Turok. All right, Wasteland it is. Okay, any land in my deck. Easy, easy. I'm going to get a Badlands or Volcanic Island. Volcanic Island. Yeah, Volcanic Island. And then I guess now we could play kind of Whack-A-Mole. Because I have perfect information. If they just fire the hymn at me, I resolve Bowmaster, and I know they're holding a Brainstorm. Okay, yeah, they're just sending it. Okay. Okay, Bowmaster versus Brainstorm. Did you draw Daze? No. Okay, good. Well, I'm Hellbent, but I have a threat. Land, not a bad draw. And I can fetch the Surveil land and get a little card selection here. There is a Bowmaster in my graveyard, which means Reanimate stabilizes the board. Ponder, okay. They're digging. Once again, an opponent not afraid to play into Bowmaster. Did not shuffle, shit. That sounds like someone who found a Reanimate or their own Bowmaster. Okay, Surveil land, little extra selection. Fable, snap it off. Something's happening. Fatal Push, yeah, okay, sure. That's not as bad as their own Bowmaster could have been, or a Reanimate targeting a Bowmaster. I'm at least doing stuff. I drew one of my powerful 3-drop engines. If they had dazed, they would have dazed me on their own turn. The Brainstorm is unlocked here, but I'm Hellbent now, so reanimating Grief isn't that bad. The trolls are gone. I found a fetch land. Fatal Push my Gobbo. I'll loot away this land. I need some action. Found another land anyway. That's fine. I know they play Hymn to Turok. I'm going to play this Volcanic Island out and just put my cards on the table, literally. Fetching. Murktide Region. That's really big. I got a lot of answers to this, though. And they're on one card, but I am dead in 2 hits. Yikes. All right. Well, I'm not going to play this land out. Give them a chance to grief me or Thoughtseize me. But fingers are crossed. I either draw... I'm drawing pretty heavy. I feel, without looking, I feel like it's between 7 and 10 answers to this, but that's still not a lot of cards. Okay. I have this now. I guess I can't copy Orc Army because it's 0/0. Should have just attacked for 2. Okay, I'm going to Pyroblast on their upkeep. This is a red spell. Don't have Force Blue card. Emergency Brainstorm. Cool, we did it. They've got a fetch land. I'm going to copy my Orc Army and watch it die. Revolt's on. Okay, I'm going to attack with my 2 creatures since I now am consciously aware that they don't work the way that I had hoped. Okay, Bowmaster resolves. I'm going to make them sacrifice it. I guess this doesn't matter. whether I do this before or after blocks. They still line up the obvious block no matter what. Sacrifice a non-token creature, please. I guess I could have made them sack a token, and then I get to keep my Fable. I think I'd rather have Bowmaster gone, though. I have so many cantrips in my deck, and this is just a 2/2 that's not copying anything. Yeah, I think I did that right. I'll admit it wasn't fully considered before I clicked the button, but I think it was correct ultimately. Stop drawing stuff! Alright, it's a Grief. Been holding this land for a while. They were going to cast that Grief regardless. Brainstorm. Okay, glad I cleared the Bowmaster. This is what I'm talking about. Glad I held the Swamp, too. All these plays, all these decisions are paying off here. And, okay, I'm going to put back Swamp and Polluted Delta. Then I'm going to attack for 2. Then I'm going to play Baleful Strix and hold up Bowmaster. They take the trade. And then blue-black out of the Volcanic Island. I was a little suspicious of the Sunken Ruins when I saw the list, but I left it in, and it is kind of necessary, it seems. I think it's right to just hold the Bowmaster and see if I can high roll on a cantrip here. They're now showing Hardcast Force, which makes that a little worse. Well, I'm not playing around Wasteland anyway at this point. Okay, this looks like a Hardcast Force. Something big is happening. Yep, alright. Yeah, if I had main phased that, it would have played around that. Would have played into some other stuff. This is the last turn they can cast Reanimate without dying. I don't think there's a Mystic Sanctuary in the deck. There is not. I'm going to hold my Polluted Delta and pass. Okay, I'm drawing heavy. I have a lot of good draws here, but so do they. They also have a lot of bad draws, and if nobody draws another card, I'm favored. I love this Narset. If I can get them to 2, then Reanimate is a complete blank. Alright, cool. Successfully got them to 2. Narset. Activate Lightning Bolt. Just put that in my hand. Okay, we did it. We did it. That was dicey, but it worked out in the end. I still don't like Consume. I mean, exiling all graveyards isn't the worst, but you can't spend 3 mana to do that next turn. And this just, we didn't see a Stalactite Stalker or a Delver or anything like that that would actually die to this thing. I'm off it. They are Grixis, though, which might mean they don't actually have basics, and this Blood Moon could be a hammer. I really hate trying to Blood Moon decks like this, because they're so frequently under you by the time you could cast a Blood Moon, to the point where you need your mana more than they do. I did Surgical them, and didn't take a screenshot, once again. I gotta tighten up on that. Because right now I'm thinking, do I want Hydroblast? What red cards do they have? And I literally looked at their whole deck moments ago. I don't think I'm going to try to moon them. This is the game. It's still the game. Same cards going right back in. But now I'm on the draw, which means I have more cards. Checkmate. This hand's pretty good against Grief Scam and Hymn to Turok. I'm going to keep it. It's good against Wasteland and discard spells. It's bad against a Turbo Orc. Or Troll, whatever it is. Turbo Troll. But they've seen Surgical in my deck, so they might pump the brakes. No brakes here. Here goes the Troll. And they do this regardless, whether they're going to reanimate it or not. Let's hope they don't have to reanimate. Okay, they're just representing Bowmaster. But so am I. Okay, Narset's a real card. I can fetch blue and black basics with the fetch lands I have in play, if I feel the need to do that. They're definitely going to miss land drops before I do. Hymn to Turok. I think I want to put my Orc on the stack, just for a little comfort. I don't like having the first Orc in play, but I do like the idea of not losing one of my 2 spells to a Hymn to Turok if I can avoid it. That just resolved. They didn't cantrip in the top. Let's see 2 lands hit the bin. Cool. That's why I kept the hand. It is naturally resilient to that sort of nonsense. Still playing around Wasteland. They could have Pyroblast, but I'm jamming Narset here. I think if they had Daze, it would have happened already. She's in. Refill this hand, girl. Brainstorm. Orcish Bowmaster 3 lands sent to the bottom. They didn't bolt, they didn't Daze. I absorbed him to Turok like a boss. There's their Bowmaster. Fine. Holding Fatal Push. Ponder just to look at cards. Narset's still chilling. Yeah, Narset has gone +2 cards here. The one she found and the one she just ate off the Sponder. They did not shuffle. They like the card. Even if it does not join up yet. Okay, Narset, take a dig. I have some big hits here if I find them. Oh, re-Narset I like. Molten Collapse is good against all kinds of stuff. I get the Murktide. But if Narset can just dig for more, I'm in for that. I think I want to Fatal Push their Bowmaster and then re-Narset right now. I'm pretty sure their hand is weak, is why I'm maximizing like this right now, just keeping the velocity going. Fable, Lorien, Sheoldred's Edict. I want Sheoldred's Edict. I think Murktide is the way they can flip this on me. Murktide or Reanimate a Troll. And I'm just going to try not to let that happen. I bought him the Molten Collapse to keep access to the second Narset. And so with the second Narset, I want to make sure I can answer a Murktide. Okay, they reanimated my Bowmaster. Me taking Sheoldred's Edict did do the work I had hoped it would in terms of them not jamming a troll. K-Command, okay. I can Bowmaster their Bowmaster and leave K-Command up. And they just scooped it. That was too many Bowmasters. And a bread and butter 4-1 result with Grixis, Chaos Defiler, Fable, the Mirror Breaker, tap out control. This deck was sweet. I love the Grixis removal. I love the card selection. Fable's great. Chaos Defiler and Fury are really cool top end. Our trophy was one draw step away. Opponent found Agatha Soul Cauldron on the last turn to combo kill us when they were heckin' dead. So like, this was a whisper away from a trophy run even with the cards that we had. Cards that were suspicious. Him to Turok. I don't know if you need 3 of it. Maybe you want 1 Thoughtseize to him. Same thing I said in the deck tech, but now having played through it where the him does warp your early fetches because you want to be able to black if you draw one. And then it makes your late game top decks really bad because this doesn't do anything. And tap out control does tend to end up with both players hellbent. You're basically making 3 slots in the deck warp the entire way that you fetch and the way that you play in order to hope that you draw this card on turn like 2 to 4 and not any point after that. I think you could probably go lighter on this or diversify it into a Thoughtseize. The Baleful Mastery and Debts to the Kami in the sideboard, these cards did come in against all the Triumph decks, so I'm going to leave them alone. They are definitely on the more suspicious side among legacy playable cards you could have in a Grixis control deck. But if they're serving their purpose, that's fine. Don't refuse to play a card just because you don't see it in deck lists. These are probably elegant solutions to specific problems, which is a sign of good deck building, not bad deck building. So I like that. Honestly, I think this deck is just really well constructed, and there's a lot of season to taste here. There's a bunch of 1-ofs, 2-ofs, and 3-ofs that you could just change the numbers around, do different stuff with. Maybe 2 Fury, 1 Chaos Defiler is better than doing it the other way. Maybe 4 Fables is better than 1 main deck Hidetsugu Consumes All. There's a lot of maybes here, and really that's just season to taste. What are you going to play against? What do you want to beat? But the deck has a lot of 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, and beyond, and has an actual way to finish the game now in Chaos Defiler. I like it. Akratos, well done. Thank you for sharing your deck with us. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.